Hi together. We are the Process Pirates, and we will now introduce you to our solution for the ICPM Hackathon, Cash is King. So we are looking at the accounts receivable process from Mann and Hummel and want to optimize the cash flow, where late payments are a huge pain point. So if we look at the process overview, we see that in total we have 155,000 invoices, and we see that we have 28% of those invoices are paid late. So what's the reason for it?
To answer this question, we have prepared the late payments deep dive, where we can see the payment rate, the late payment rate by different dimensions. For example, over time, where we can see that the late payment rate is already decreasing, which are great news, but we can also check by payment terms or by company code. So if we are especially interested in payment terms, we can group them by the payment term direction that is behind them. So let's say that you have many payment terms. For example, this one this group has 50 different payment terms with less than 1 week where they are always paid late. So we can think, does it really make sense to have these payment terms? Are there other options that we can give? To have a better understanding, we also prepared some tables where we can see the actual codes, how many invoices are using them, and how many of them are those paid late.
That's already really nice, because now already we see what are the drivers for late payments. But at the moment, that's all kind of measuring, so it does not directly prevent late payments. So what can we do about predicting and preventing late payments?
Exactly. So let's say that we focus first on preventing them. If we have historical data, we can say, okay, which customer are the ones that are paying late most of the time. So if we say like, okay, these 3 customers are paying late more than 85% of our invoices. So we can set up easily a report and send it to them weekly, where we include the invoices that are due that week and how many days are there until the due date. And we can see also that information on Signavio.
That's also nice, because now we can already use our measures we created in our drill downs by dimensions to take action. But is it also possible to do this prediction on invoice level?
Of course, we can take this data one step further and say, okay, if this customer in the past paid late by 3 days, I can expect that the next invoice that I have will be also be paid late for 3 days. So now we have this table, we can see, okay, this is the invoice for this customer, this is the due date, but since this customer is always late by 3 days, then we expect the payment date to be this other one.
So based on that, we also can then create a forecast of the cash flow, right?
Exactly. So we not only have data for late payments, but also for the ones that are early and on time. So we can look at the future and see, okay, this is our predicted or expected cash flow over the next year.
That's nice to have a forecast of our cash flow, but now to think of, okay, what could be suggestions to also optimize our cash flow, we could shortly have a look back to the process overview, because here we can see that invoices with a cash discount due date, it's on the right, you see that there the rate is much lower, so just 10% instead of 28%. So a suggestion, for example, would be to say, okay, could we maybe give the customer the opportunity to pay early and get a cash discount, because then it seems like they are paying earlier. Yeah, so to shortly summarize, this dashboard is giving you the opportunity to drill down on different dimensions, to see the late payment rate, but also directly take action by sending out emails. And you see the forecast of your cash flow and already have some suggestions about how to optimize it. Then I would say thanks a lot for listening, and have a nice day, week, or whatever.